The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Hi everyone, welcome to Basketball with JUT. I'm your host, Jayden Thibeault. In today's podcast, we'll be talking everything about the Celtics and basketball related, so stay tuned. This week, let's talk about how the Boston Celtics are doing and everything Celtics news. I will also be talking about each of the players and who is doing good and who needs to play better. I'll be adding 3 questions of NBA trivia to this segment of this podcast. I'll be covering the NBA as a whole and who is leading the league in stats. I'm also going to be talking about the NBA, about the coaches, how great they're leading the team successfully. Lastly, I'll be talking about our next game for the Celtics and who we should be worried about on that team to go off against us and who is on the injured list for us. So stay tuned. Now, time for business. Our first topic is about the different players like Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, and Derek White, and amazing bench players like Hauser, Horford, and Pritchard, who will all really keep pieces this season. They've been amazing. The bench has been super good these past couple of games, providing some really good bench depth. But when our players are tired, we're a really deep team when you look at it, which is what you need. Of course, we all know about Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who are two superstars for this magnificent team. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are also really amazing leaders for this young team, as all of our players are still learning together, as they are one of the youngest teams in the whole NBA. Derek White, Jrue Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis, all amazing fits found the 2 superstars in Tatum and Brown, and they were all future All-Stars themselves to join the 2 stars. Pritchard, Horford, and Hauser were all amazing bench players. They have a big goal this season as they get a lot more minutes in playing time. Coaches are Joe Mazzulla, Sam Cassell, Charles Lee, Phil Presley, who continue to stay positive. During the Nets game, he played Jordan Walsh early and spoke to the media, saying how he likes the way Walsh approached the defense side of his game. As they continue to stay focused on the players, I see this as a positive. They will lead the team to make it to the championship. As the fans continue to cheer and impact the home games, the chanting and yelling really affects the other team in a positive one. So keep on cheering, Celtics fans. Now, who is ready for some fun NBA trivia? Who has scored the most points in NBA history? Is it A, LeBron James, B, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, C, Michael Jordan, or D, Kobe Bryant? But first, before I tell you the answer, we are going to commercial break, so stay tuned.
Hi there, I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. What a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
Here we go. My name is Harrison Young, and after 13 years of talk show experience, I seek to bring you the best in interviews with some of the very best guests around, including And here we are, experts.
I've seen thousands of demons actually come out of the mirror one time.
Wow. Musical guests and artists.
If I say how I feel, would you really listen?
And interesting characters of all types.
I threw that kid across the classroom. Look, he didn't try that ever again.
Wow. Join me at Topic Time on your Eastern cable station anytime they want to play it. And from what I understand, that's quite a few times a day. And I love it.
If you guessed A, LeBron James, then you'd be correct. LeBron James actually passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this season for most points in NBA history. The game against the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City, funny enough, and a fadeaway jumper. Now let's talk about some recent Celtics games and about the player stats as well as the team stats, and also predicting their next game. Some games they've had recently, like the two Nets games, we won both of them, and was a 50-point blowout, the second one. Our first game against the Nets, they put up a solid fight, which they almost won, but they choked in the end. But they made an epic comeback. In the second game, they won by 50 points, Celtics, and they were up by 30 points throughout the whole game, which is crazy to maintain that big of a lead. They also played amazing through all three quarters, as Celtics put up 105 points, which is crazy, because that never happens that much. Tatum still leads us with points this season, with 27.1 a game, rebounds with 8.6 a game, and assists with 4.8 a game. And Brown leads us with steals this season with 1.1, and Porzingis leads us with blocks with 1.9. So keep it up, starters. All these stats are still incredible. We're witnessing one of the greatest seasons of all time for the Celtics team as a whole, and the NBA in general. They are incredible this season. They average 120.1 points a game as a whole, 47.3 rebounds as a team, 26.2 assists per game, which are almost upgrades from the last time I did this podcast. John Mazzulla also just hit 100 career wins as the youngest coach in the NBA as a head coach. So let's give it up for him. Now let's talk about project success on being the Nets. He put up 10 points in the first game and 26 points in the second game with 6 threes. Now what is the average of the NBA to compare to the Celtics with points? So the Celtics average 120.1 points a game, and the average of the NBA is 114.7 points per game. So Celtics average just under 6 points per game, more than the whole average NBA team, which is really good. Overall, Celtics have been playing amazing this season, and they are 43-12 currently with a really strong team, and they are getting a lot better as the season progresses. They also seem to be having a lot more fun, with a lot more confidence. They always seem to be laughing with each other and getting their chemistry going, which is really good to see from your team. The team is top 10 in both offense and defense, which is almost unheard of to be really good at both categories. I also personally really think Joe Mazzulla is 10 times more confident in himself and in his guys to make all of the big plays that they need to win all of these big important games. The bench has gotten stronger as all the players are older and more experienced, and they have worked hard all offseason. They all want to win the finals for their final goal. They've always come up short for the past 2 to 3 seasons, but hopefully this is their year, where they won their 18th banner. They officially have the most championships out of any NBA team. They are really competitive this season, as they make every game close, even the ones they lose. Well, except the last game against the Nets, when they won by 50 points. The team is looking the best they could possibly look at this point in the season, going into the All-Star break, as they won almost every game in this past week. They had some injuries with Brown, Horford, Porzingis, who are all out, along with Tillman and Springer. But Brown, Porzingis, and Horford are all on a day-to-day basis injury. These are all key pieces to our team. We're all going to miss them very much, and their presence gone. Anyways, let's go on to our next game we are going to be playing, which is against the Chicago Bulls this Thursday coming up, who are 26-29. And they are the 9th seed, which is around average. Sorry, Grandpa, who's from Chicago. The Bulls in the play-in currently, but they can easily make it to the 7 to 10 seed, make the play-in or playoffs still. Both teams are really good this year, as this should be a close matchup. But with the 3 of our key players out on a day-to-day basis injury, I think that sadly the Bulls are going to win. Just squeak out a win. But I predict the Bulls will win 120 to 117 on a game winner from DeMar DeRozan. You happy, Grandpa? Now time for our second NBA trivia question. How many fouls can a player commit before being ejected? Is it A, 4, B, 5, C, 6, or D, 7? Before I tell anyone the answer, we're going to commercial break, so stay tuned and don't miss it.
Hello everybody and welcome to the official first episode of Eatin' with ECAT. My name is Joseph Taft.
I'm Jack Ryan.
And I'm Abby Kitchenham.
We are, in fact, your co-hosts, and we are determined to bring you all the big eats that you can handle. So listen, if you're a foodie, you're not going to want to miss any of the action. Check out our website, www.eastoncat.org, or find us on social, at EastonCat, to find this episode on demand.
Oh, you're going down, Kitchenham. You're going down. You're going down.
I got through the foam, and I'm getting a little more down to the... It's like...
The fact that there's jelly in this just unsettles me.
A Reuben sandwich is the best sandwich out. The sauerkraut mixed with the Thousand Island and the rye bread.
This is something I have never seen before.
We're good. We're all family here.
Where does the ice cream begin?
Big
and
bite.
the whipped cream end?
Hi, I'm Ron Van Dam. I've been in radio for 3 decades now and have been doing a daily podcast-style show for a few years. But once a week, I come to the ECAT studio where they give me wine and cheese. Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Good to be with you. Hey, you're looking good today. Thanks for being here. Make yourself comfortable. This won't take too long. It'll be a little bit painful for you, but in the long run, it's important for you to go through this. And I do a TV version of the podcast. I talk about what's going on in the world and in the area and give my opinions on things. That's both something to look forward to and also a warning. So tune in to see me move my mouth while I talk. Who knows? We might have something in common. Probably not, but you never know. Catch my show here, The Ron Van Dam Show, right here on ECAT.
It's The Ron Van Dam Show. Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Now let's get back to business. And if you guys see 6, then you'd be correct. If you commit 6 fouls, then you get ejected, and you cannot come back into the game. Yep, your night is over, so you might as well go home. Not just kidding. Well, the Boston Celtics are 43-12 and first in the East. They are also followed by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are 36-17. They are the top 5 team in the league. The Cavaliers have star players Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. They have solid role players Max Strus, George Niang, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley, who are all really good. They've won the best and deep rosters in the whole NBA. They have J.B. Bickerstaff as a head coach, who's one of the youngest and has improved a lot from last season. Cavs also have been playing pretty good basketball over the last week, as they still remain ahead of some of the best teams in the East. Now for the West standings, the 2 best teams are the Thunder and Timberwolves. Timberwolves are the first seed in the West, who have a record of 38-16. They are doing really amazing and well for themselves right now. Anthony Edwards is putting up monster stats this past week, as he is putting up amazing stats. He's putting up 30 points a game almost, 9 rebounds a game, 5 assists per game, on amazing shooting. Now let's talk about the Thunder, who are right now the 2nd seed in the West, and they are 37-17, which is still really good though. They've been playing really good recently, as Shea has been putting up MVP numbers, and Chet Holmgren is still a lock to be top 2 for rookies, and he's a force to be reckoned with. Now time for the NBA news as a whole. NBA has been crazy this past week with a bunch of new players on different teams on the trade deadline. One of the main stories from this past week is how Victor Wembanyama has been putting up crazy stats and triple doubles for this bad Spurs team, as they're still one of the worst teams in the league with triple doubles with blocks, which has never been heard of. Buddy Hield's going crazy on the 76ers as he puts up 24 points with 6 threes. And a lot of teams are going down with injuries right before the All-Star break, which is very sad and heartening to see. Pelicans are doing amazing this season as they are 33-22 going into the All-Star break. And they are the 5th seed in the West currently, which is really good for them. The Bucks with Dame and Giannis are always really good. We're not really surprised though. Trae is showing why he should be an all-star starter this season, as he's put up 30 points and 10 assists this season. And he's the most underrated player in the whole NBA for the last month. And he's the most underrated player, which is not good to see because everyone knows who he is though. Pistons are still one of the worst teams of all time in the NBA currently. But they've been making some games really close in a dogfight of battle. They have a pretty bright future with all the young players and all of the high draft picks. They're amazing young stars. Now, who's ready for a final trivia question? What 2 teams have gotten the most NBA championships out of any team? Is it A, the Bulls, B, the Celtics, C, the Spurs, or D, the Lakers? Before we do one last commercial break, you won't want to miss the answer, so stay tuned.
Hi there, I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. What a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
If you guessed B and D, you'd be correct, because they are both tied at 17 championships. Now let's talk about the last 2 games, where they played a game against the Wizards, who they beat, but not by much. Team had a really good game, and so did Porzingis, along with some of the Wizards players, who did really good as a whole team. It was a close game as the Celtics won 133-129. They played a pretty good game overall, but then almost choked in the end, which was not good to see. But the Celtics now moved to 43-12. They still hold on to the best record in the whole entire NBA. Wizards are still the second worst team in the whole NBA. They only have 9 wins remaining still going to the All-Star break, which is one of the worst of all time. Celtics in the last game also beat the Miami Heat, who are also pretty good, as they are still the 8th seed. And Jimmy Butler did not play though, which is a huge loss for them in that game. They put up a huge fight nonetheless. They lost 110-106 in a really close game. Both these games were really intense and both felt like they could be playoff games, except one of them was the Heat, who was a really good team, in the playoffs especially. And the other team is the Wizards, who are not going to make the playoffs this year. But nonetheless, they are really good teams. The players over the All-Star break will be grinding and hustling to be better than ever for when they come back after the All-Star break. Now, just one last reminder. Before the All-Star break happens, they play this weekend in the All-Star games. So stay tuned. Anyways, thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you can tune in next time on Basketball with Jut. Bye, everyone, and have a good day.